What is up, guys? Pittsburgh Weiss Schwarz back again with something a little bit different this time. So, we've been wanting to do match commentary for a long time. And we finally got around to setting something up. But we're going to do something that a lot of channels I don't think are doing, and that is highlight one of our newer players, and we're going to really dig into the match. So we have Billy. Billy's here. You want to introduce yourself, Billy?
Yo, I'm Billy. How's it going?
So Billy has a background in Kaijudo, the Naruto card
DBZ,
game,
Naruto.
DBZ, Yu-Gi-Oh. He's played a lot of other card games at a fairly high level, right? You were really well known in Kaijudo, right, on the East Coast?
Kaijudo, yeah, decently. My team was probably the best one on the East Coast, and I placed first in Swiss for the largest event that they had.
That's super cool. So all the people on the call obviously have Billy. You guys heard Andy, and Brian's here, and Brian's your opponent.
And I am here, and I'm here.
So the match that we have today is what? It's 8 standby, no game, no life versus Tornado Alley, 8 wind, Revue Starlight.
That's a matchup.
Okay.
I'm real excited to see this one. I haven't seen this standby deck in action yet.
So we said, Billy's been playing a couple months, 2 months about, but he has a lot of experience from other games, so we're going to really sort of dig in, and like I told you guys, if you guys want me to stop the video, rewind, let me know, give me a timestamp, and I can stop it and we can get into it. So I'm going to kick off the video starting now. Go ahead, guys.
All right, so I'm dealing out 5 cards and picking them up as my opener.
Ditto.
Billy with the clutch Ninja Toad playmat. True Naruto player right
I
there.
have 2 of these, just so you know.
So unfortunately at this point I didn't have a 1/1 Steph standby target to ditch in my opener. Get into my waiting room.
What was your hand looking like, Billy?
I wish I could tell you. My memory's not good enough for this, so we'll see in 5 seconds. So
what,
it looks
you
like
went
I
down
ditched,
3?
Yeah, I went down 3. I think I was fishing for some zeros.
All right, I think I throw down the runner here.
You see Steph, and I think that was
Is that a trigger? Yeah, trigger for 3.
So you put the 3 down. So you opted to swing aggressive early. Is that just because your deck doesn't push soul very well?
Yeah, well due to running 8 standby climaxes, my deck doesn't push soul very well, but that's also due to the fact that
did you just clock a 0 Futaba?
I did, because I went 0 Futaba.
Okay, so you have another one. I guess that card doesn't have much value.
How about you pause the video for a second? I got a question for Brian.
Right.
What's up?
Why do you choose to swing with the Steph there? Are you gonna pay it out next turn? Are you gonna pay out that Steph next turn? That's your finisher, and you just buried it in your stock. If you can't pay it next turn.
I don't think I pay the Steph out, but I don't really think I needed it either. I run 4 of them, and with standby, I have, I think, more than enough ways to get them onto the field that I don't really need to be concerned if I trigger one of them.
How many Stephs do you run?
I run 4 of the finisher.
4 of the finisher? Okay, yeah. I'd leave it there if I were him.
I mean, like I said before,
it was the level 3 Steph, right? That you.
Yeah, the one that's in my clock right now. Yeah.
You had the chance. I guess both of them had a soul trigger, right? But even if one didn't, you would have opted to swing the soul trigger. Is what you're saying?
I think I usually opt to swing big if I can with this deck, especially early on first deck, because I really do need to push soul damage, especially against 8 wind, which is
because you don't have that global soul top kick.
I do not.
Yeah.
Yeah. And,
that is true. Okay.
Yeah, and 8 wind is already a losing matchup for 8 standby. So.
All right, and then Billy, we went over that briefly. So you clocked Futaba because you had another one.
Yeah, so whenever I fished last turn, I scored one of those Futabas, and then if I remember right, I think my 6th card was also a 0-drop Futaba, which I figured one's more than, and I didn't think anything was going to run me over if I sat middle lane.
Yeah, especially against No Game No Life. They don't really get over 4K very often at their 0 game.
Yeah, especially not 0.
They're more
especially in the red builds, they don't.
Yeah, so it's super...
the green builds will have clock bombs and stuff, but red doesn't really got that.
Yeah, so All right, we ready to move on?
Yeah.
All right, resuming. So this Billy's up. He's got the Futaba down. 2 soul 4K in the center, pretty strong.
Seems pretty good, yeah.
I wish I ran more of the level 1 Futaba too, just because I like how much these control.
Okay, interesting. So you put the Brainstorm in the front row.
I have another Brainstormer.
Okay, so you'd have another Brainstormer in hand. You just want to get...
I just wanted that extra stock.
And then you're protecting your Futaba from being bombed.
I eat the 4.
You eat the 4 and you get a win. He chooses not to bounce, which is correct. You don't want
which
to
is
bounce.
Which is right against the Shiro, yeah.
Yeah, you don't want to bounce the Shiro. That's a lot of like recurring value because they get to rearrange. You don't want to do that.
And I draw into my level 1 combo.
There you go. Very strong, Brian. Oh Jesus, your hand! My God, there are 4 standbys in that hand.
Are there? I only see the 2.
Please tell me you ditch out here.
Oh, yeah, love to see it.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, all right. You start ditching.
Yeah, I don't remember being in a super bad spot, so I do manage to fix this somehow.
Billy, I'm so proud of you as a new player, like asking that important question. Like,
oh, thanks, Andy.
How many you out?
Zach was actually telling me that the other day too.
That's the most important question.
I do pay the stuff out here, by the way.
Okay, so you pay 1, you stand the Jabril. So you're swinging 1, 2, 2 before triggers. Okay, yeah, that's pretty good for standby. You kind of against 8 wind, you're gonna kind of have to act on your turn because at any time you could like lose your whole board, right? That's like your general mindset, right?
It feels really bad when your 2/2s get bounced.
Brian, what does the level 1 Gibril combo do? Like it restands the level 2, but what is she?
She's just a 45, goes up to 6K on climax play. And then the climax combo is standby, pay 1, stand the standby target.
Let's see this
That's
level
pretty
1.
Decent. I like it.
All right, so spoil us here. Do you hit your level 1 here? Do you have your Futaba wind in hand?
I'm pretty sure I did, if memory serves, because I'm pretty sure I saw the climax sitting in my hand like 2 seconds earlier. So I'm pretty sure I have at least.
So I kind of want to stop here. I'm going to pause it at 350 here. So the wind. When did you draw the wind? Did you mulligan for the wind? Because I want to get into that because I don't think we talk about that enough and how important mulligan is in Weiss.
We should make an actual video on that.
Yeah, but I just want to touch on it briefly. Yeah.
What, like a video on how to play the opener?
Yeah, sort of.
I don't know. My personal opinion, I think the mulligan is the most important thing you do all game in Weiss. I think it
is really important.
The biggest deciding factor in if you win or lose.
Well, the trick is to always ditch 5 so you get closer to your second deck.
Yikes.
That's why you top 8'd and I didn't, I guess.
So yeah, Billy, walk us through it if you can remember exactly how that wind came into your hand.
Again, my brain is not the best at remembering things, but if I do remember right, I'm pretty sure I actually drew that, and I sat on that and a level 1 Futaba right from the get-go, and I pitched the other 3 fishing for a 0, if I remember.
Okay, so you opened the wind. All right, yeah. So that's important because like.
So you have the Futaba in your opener, right? The level 0.
No, the level 1, and I drew into the level 0.
Yeah, the 7K Shimakaze. Yeah. Right. Like, I think that's one of the biggest problems with Revue as a set is they don't have a real way outside of mulligan to sort of get into their climax. They don't dirtle at 0 very well, so they kind of have to mulligan really aggressively for their level 1. Because it is really important. You need to get into your 2-1 Kawarko. You need to set up your, all your stuff. But, okay, so you opened it. So that's important. So I'm going to...
and I can't remember if I have 1 or 2 in this situation. I might have scored a second one somewhere along the way.
Well, let's find out. I'll start it again here. I just wanted to briefly touch on that. I think that's important. And it's important that you're thinking about it, right? You're thinking about hitting your level 1 from your opener, which is something a lot of newer players don't do. So, that's a feather in your cap. That's a compliment.
Well, thank you.
It looks like you rip into Ricky and you have the, you don't have red currently, so you can't play.
No, unfortunately not.
Mahiru. Okay, so you play the Brainstorm. You don't have a target for the anti-bomb. I guess it's not as important.
I think I get a level 1 Futaba off this, too.
Yep.
There you go. First deck Brainstorms.
Gets you
Very
closer to
strong.
second deck.
That's the real goal.
Okay,
There's
so
a Ricky.
Ricky, you correctly surveil first. Deciding what you want to do here. And then, yeah, okay, so yeah. It's a little awkward. You pay 1, collect self. Now you're salvaging again. Ooh, okay.
Yeah, so I might not have started with 1. I might have just went with 2. For some reason, I don't think I try and field here.
I mean, you're not getting over the middle lane, so you only need 2.
But yeah,
Right.
now you have red, so you can play
Yeah,
Madara.
the Ricky sent.
So you have 3 Futabas in hand.
2.
2. Okay, so you had to dig for both on that turn. Okay.
Set himself up pretty well, though.
I did start with the climax, though.
Yeah, this is like pretty optimal for Revue, right? I think the only better thing for you in this matchup is probably the Futaba level 1.
And I'm out like 5 climaxes at this point, so I'm just eating damage.
That just means your standbys get better.
You're right. More cards in waiting room.
So yeah, Brian, how much filter do you run? You look a little stuck there.
I think I run enough. I don't think I'm in a.
Ooh, yikes!
Yeah, so I'm
Yikes.
I'm grimacing here.
That's Revue. That's Revue doing its job, right? Just
Oh yeah.
sack win.
Don't worry, it happens more.
Yeah.
And correctly attacking with the middle lane last there.
Yeah, that's really good sequencing from you, Billy. That's another thing new players don't think about is like the importance of attack sequencing. I've seen people who have played the game for a long time just attack left to right every game, and they don't think about it at all. I think that attack sequencing is really, really important in this game.
I mean, especially when you're running wind trigger, it becomes really, really important.
All right, so you do cancel here, Brian. What's
All right, so
going
yeah,
through your head now?
there's some filter. I just picked up the the filter Sora off the top of my deck there.
So what are you looking to do here? Are you trying to set up word chain here now that you're at 2?
Normally I
No, you
would
don't have he doesn't have the stock for it. It's
okay. Wait, why'd you bottom deck? Why'd you bottom?
right?
Oh, you're brainstorming. Okay, you bottom deck the clean card to brain. What the fuck? Okay, so
That's all.
you're
Yeah,
done.
so now-
okay.
So now I need to get through the rest of my deck here.
You're out everything now.
I'm out of climaxes. Yeah.
This is your chance to fix though, because we got 2 standbys in hand.
Yeah,
you have
it's
filter,
it's Sora time.
so you can get down to 4 cards, slam a standby. You have the combo, right? So can you stand the 3/2 Jabril this turn, or
The 3/2. I don't run the 3/2 Jabril. I only run the staff.
Okay, all right. So you're playing Selfish King.
Yeah.
Why? How many cards do you have left in your deck here?
I think it was 6.
Okay, so you're
Yeah,
just looking
6.
at 2. I guess, okay. I agree with putting the event in memory. I think that's right, because you have the combo piece here, right?
Yeah.
So you're
I
going to play a
I think you
step.
might need to just like let one of your standbys not go back. Here.
I think that's what he's... Is that what you
Yeah.
do?
Yeah, I think I hold the staff combo climax over refresh for my finisher.
Oh, okay. I agree with this play. This is a straight plus, right? Okay, so you don't have a level 3 target to put out. Do you? You just don't?
If I did, I chose not to.
Okay.
For whatever reason.
Interesting.
I'm pretty sure. No, you had a Steph in there. That was the first card you clocked. Right?
You know what, Andy? I'm not sure what I'm doing here.
Wait, why'd you take 1 there? Let's stop there. What happened there? So Jabril swung for 2, right? She has 2 soul.
The 2 soul Jabril?
You might have declared wrong. We can go back and check the audio. You might have declared wrong damage.
I may have.
Yeah. Okay. We'll circle that. Okay. Judge. I mean that's why we watch this, right? You gotta, You make sure you have to call these out. That's another thing that I don't see people talking about in these match. Like people are always uploading, making sure they're uploading these perfect games and stuff like that. And I don't think that's right. I think we need to upload games like this, games that like people who are newer is just like there's going to be mistakes. I think that's an organic part of the game, especially at locals, and I think those things need to be highlighted. So that wasn't to call you out, Brian. I just
that's me. New player. Top
player,
eight,
Brian.
top eight player.
Toronto.
No, but that's something that gets me too. Like, is like when I'm playing a standby deck, I always over declare my swing because you play Climax, you're so used to just giving everything +1.
Yeah, that hashtag global soul.
And you see like the soul trigger in the top corner of the standby. I don't know. That always confuses me a little bit. I always have to like really double check myself.
Because you're just like you said, you're just so used to it. So okay,
Yeah.
we'll get back into your attack order here. So Futaba gets reversed. You crashed F. Okay.
Yeah, because I think he's still level 1. I'm desperate.
Oh wait. Okay, maybe that was right. Maybe you swung for 2. I think it canceled. Then the Jabril attack for 1.
I think I might have standbyed out the Jabril here as just to be able to keep it alive with hand on core, just so I can keep swinging.
Okay. So you clocked the climax here, Billy. You remember
I'm
why
really
you did
close
that there?
to second deck, so I wanted to get it back in.
You just want to get it back in. You're not worried about comboing again. You don't have the resources.
Yeah,
to combo
I don't think I
again.
have any more level 1 Futabas, if I remember right. I think I went through all of them.
And you don't have a real way to salvage without brainstorming, and I think you only have 2 or 3 cards in deck here.
Yeah, it's basically nothing, and I'm pretty sure I'm through most of my climaxes.
Yeah, so here
I think this might be the turn where I do a really cheeky rookie play.
I'm trying to remember what happens this turn.
That's your Bill's the really big one, isn't it?
That's the 2/2. Yeah. Spoiler alert: that thing gets winded.
Yeah.
Yikes.
I'm pretty sure I play a Ricky peak top. It's a climax, and then I save it and attack.
Ooh. Well. Okay, so that is nasty. So
yeah, that.
I think.
What do you mean save it? Like
leave it.
I just leave it on top deck and
choose
then I
to
don't
trigger
use
it.
Second effect.
Oh, you trigger it.
And then he triggers it and bounces the 2/2. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
When players are new, right? I'm just gonna let the video play because Billy's thinking about his play right now. And yeah, he correctly brainstorms to make sure that he refreshes clean.
Okay, we had a lot more than 4. I'm an idiot.
Well, okay, so you brainstorm, you Karuko, you pay out the climax, you mill. Ooh, yikes. Okay, you mill 2 Karukos.
We might just be trying to refresh at this point. I think there's 2 cards left now.
And okay, so you're saying you play the Ricky and you surveil.
I think I do. That might be next turn. I do it like 3 times. I win to Jabril 3 different times in this game.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. Okay, so you just mill 2, and now you're talking about the ruling. Okay, so I do want to get into that while you guys are confirming the ruling.
It shuffles back, right?
It does shuffle back. Instantly waiting room. So I think that's something. It's like really cool that you're newer and you notice like the value of triggering versus the value of like your stock being clean and stuff like that, and like weighing that option, right? Where triggering wind against a big body deck is like a game-winning play sometimes, and that is worth giving up compression to do because you'll gain so much ground on that turn. And I think that's something new and seasoned players alike regularly misevaluate.
Well, I don't know. Is it worth triggering a wind against like a 2/2 vanilla Gibberel? Like, is that actually?
Oh,
worth
I
it?
think so.
Yeah,
I think so for sure.
You think?
Especially because look what
for 2s instead of 1s.
Well, think about Revue as a set, right? They want the 2/1 Karuka to sit as long as possible because their opponent...
does it even matter though? Like, because Revue, you just bounce their whole field for your finisher.
Well, Revue just wants to get as many turns as possible to get more stock for its finisher because it doesn't have stock charging. It just kind of like plays a normal game.
Yeah, considering I have 3 stock at this point, I think bouncing a card to my hand that costs 2 is very impactful.
Mm-hmm.
Over having the climax go back.
See, there's the wind.
Yeah,
Next turn's the rookie play.
That's even stronger because the 2/1's there and you whiff the free side, so you were going to be forced to side there anyway. So I don't know. Maybe that was kind of a risky play, leaving the 2/1 there instead of moving it to the open lane.
Mm-hmm.
I would have probably moved it to the open lane. Just something to think about.
Are you talking for the Karuka?
Yeah, the 2-1 Kawarko, yeah, because you would have had to side because you whiffed the free side. It was
okay.
Yeah, and you would have had to
Well, I
crash
mean,
it.
Look at me canceling.
You'd have had to crash it or side for 0 if you didn't trigger a wind.
Well, I think I would have been okay with siding for 0 because I just want the stock, really.
I guess that's fair. You are pretty far ahead. The wind was just kind of insult to injury.
Okay, so I don't remember exactly what I do, but this turn I misplay really bad.
I'm pretty sure.
Let's watch.
Yeah. Yes, I play the staff.
Hard play the 1-1.
Yeah, because I need a body on the board, and then I brainstorm here, which is wrong.
Why is it wrong?
Actually, well, so if you pause for a second.
Pause.
Okay, so I'm going to brainstorm here in a second, but I don't think brainstorming is wrong. I think hard playing the staff was wrong.
Should you have brainstorm first?
I should not.
To keep your options open.
Yes, I should have brainstormed first, 100%. Because after I brainstorm here, I go down to 1 stock. After I attack with my 3 characters, I go back up to 4. That's enough to play 2 staff finishers from my hand on my next turn, but not enough to play the second Foolish King, which significantly weakens my finisher.
Because you only have 1 Foolish King in memory right now.
Correct.
Okay.
So that was a poorly executed by me.
That's
it's something important to keep in mind, like what your stock threshold is for finishing. Sometimes you can lose the forest for the trees, You think oh, this is the best play in the moment, but sometimes it's better to sometimes it's worth having dirty stock or worth sometimes the stock is more important than the deck.
And you
can
having easily get got by that, right? Because Weiss is such a you make the best play in the moment kind of game. So you can easily get tripped up by that stuff.
Yeah, it really sucks. I've had it happen to me. I'm sure you've done it too, Carmen and Billy.
Oh yeah, for sure.
You get to the last turn and it's fuck, if I had 1 more stock, this would be so much more epic.
Yeah.
I feel like that's the hardest thing with Revue, honestly, is just not having enough stock to do everything that you need to late game.
Yeah.
It's like a trade-off. Do you try to run clean or do you try to get the best finisher? And you have to make the choice in the moment, what's better.
So yeah, I think generally it's you kind of want to do all your mill and brainstorming before you play any costed cards to field. In general, as a general rule, it's Weiss. Andy says this all the time, and I think there's a lot of truth in this. There are no hard and fast rules in Weiss. It's a very sort of play state reactive kind of game where you have to make the best choice in the moment.
It's the same thing in Magic, right? The thing that separates the good players from the bad players is the timings on when you play your cards.
Right.
You watch new players, they'll just play shit right away. Whereas the good players will wait till their opponent's turn and do it at the last possible second.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a good strategy. In general, in card games, in general, you want to make the play at the last possible second.
Right.
So that you leave yourself the most room to generate information and knowledge on what cards are coming up, or maybe if he brainstorms first, he might draw another card that's better to play than that staff.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm gonna restart the video here. We'll watch Brian's folly. All right, so you reveal a climax off the top.
Yeah.
And you're gonna brainstorm.
Yeah, I brainstormed that climax away.
See, maybe that's why you got tripped up there. You saw the climax and you just saw. Oh, I gotta go for it now. I gotta brainstorm.
I think that's exactly what happened.
That's a K1 plus, boys. It's I do that too.
Yeah, free plus.
But you're so close to level 3 that maybe you don't.
How many cards do I have in clock?
Maybe you stand by another Steph, so it's free.
And if you trigger that standby, you get another Steph to your field potentially, like a level 3 Steph.
You're right. Yeah.
But it depends how many cards you have in your hand too, because the Steph finisher is you discard 2 cards for it, so you need to have a lot of hand.
So I am plussing hand there. I do have enough. I have plenty of resources to double Steph. The problem is now I don't have enough stock to get that second Foolish King into memory.
So you only have burns for 1 set. Yeah, that does feel bad. And then obviously you don't want to front Billy's and Sora did not hit. So Sora's swinging for 1.
Yeah, Sora whiffed, and then he top checked the climax, like a good player.
and you're gonna have to front the Karuko, which is like always really scary. Okay, so you're never punished. You do hit standby, and you get a Jabril because you don't have Steph. Okay.
Yeah, don't have a Steph, don't have a level 3 target.
And you decide to.
I'm pretty sure I side attack this.
Just because you were afraid of him getting the.
I don't want to give him a free Karuko. Yeah, I'm far enough behind as it is.
Especially considering you hit standby, I think that's the correct play. It does suck, right? Like it always sucks, but
I don't know. Like I was playing against Billy the other day against his Revue deck, and like I just kept side attacking his Karuko, and he was telling me like, you lost a lot of ground doing that. Just side attacking me turn after turn because you were scared.
Well, that's what Revue wants you to do. They want you to be absurdly scared of the Karuko finisher so that they can gain ground.
Like it's a real scary finisher, and like I don't know what the right play is.
Well, clearly you run wind yourself.
So you decide.
Sometimes better off.
Brilliant, Brian. That's absolutely right.
You decide to clock.
You just run like a stock bomb or like something.
Why'd you decide to clock here versus like brainstorm or something? You're trying to conserve
I was
stock.
just so far ahead that I just wanted extra resources and pick more pieces.
Without spending stock, you want to conserve your stock, right?
Yeah, I mean that's a big thing. I think I actually still waste the stock, to be honest, because I'm at 4.
Like when you're ahead, you can make those type of decisions though. Like you can really just like sometimes either clocking or not clocking will just dig the knife a lot deeper. Either saving damage or just like getting so many more cards.
Yeah, a lot of the time if you're far enough ahead, you're sitting on like 6 or 7 cards in hand anyway.
You top check first with the Claudine. I mean, we could do a whole like 20-minute discussion about these like dual effect cards, but like I think Claudine is like a really good teaching card for newer players in Weiss because you can you can order the effects in whatever way you want, and there are like very explicit situations where. So
do you want to like go over what the effects are for people who aren't familiar with it?
I can pause it here. So Claudine is a standard top check filter. So you reveal top. If it's a Revue character, you add it to hand, and then ditch it. And it also has another come and play effect, which is mill 2 cards. If you hit a climax, she gets 3k power, so she goes to 4/5. So, because the card is a 3-card mill on a stick, that's what makes it very strong. It goes through 3 cards. It costs 0. It doesn't really matter. You just kind of throw it out there. But I think it's a really good teaching tool for people who are new to Weiss, and probably even better for people who are not new to trading card games. Like instantly realize the strength of the card, right? But the fact that you can order them in any way you like, and there are very, very defined situations where milling 2 first is right and milling 2 first is wrong. And knowing that and recognizing that, I think is like very strong. And there you top check first. Which is like generally the better play, right?
So educate me, when is it best to, mill first? And the only way that I can see that is like if you have 2 cards left in deck, neither of them are what you want by any means, you might as well mill that and then chance at looking at what you want.
When you need to dig 3 cards, so basically you play Claudine and you're like, this card needs to go through 3 cards. The number of climaxes in my deck is high, so I mill 2 first. Then I check top for climax. Like it's a statistics card. It's like in the moment.
I don't know if the math on that holds up, because like if you have like, let's say you have 5 climaxes and 20 cards or something, right? The places of those cards is already predetermined, right? Does it really matter if you? It's still all luck of the draw.
It's still 5 and 20.
Well, wouldn't you still want to do the 1 and 20 first, and then the 2 out of 19?
Maybe if you want the if you want the power, maybe you top check first. If you want the power, you top check first.
I don't even think it has to do with that. It's about if you want the filter. If you want the filter, you top check first. If you want the dig, you top check second. If you don't care about the filter, you're only trying to mill 3.
Yeah, so the other way you can look at these cards, the Sora I have on the board there does the exact same thing, except instead of getting power, it gets 2 souls when you hit a climax. But the way you can look at it is you can top check first, and if you whiff the top check, you get a bonus from the mill 2 from hitting the climax anyway as well.
Yeah.
It's still just like very strong.
Maybe if you have like another filtering tool, like a brainstormer or some way to shuffle your deck, you look second.
Yeah.
So like you can decide like, do I want to like dig further into my deck, or do I want like a clean damage or something? You know what I mean?
If you're like agonizing over brainstorming, right? You can mill 2 first, then top check if you hit a climax, because then that's a 7-card brainstorm, technically, right?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's just like it's 3 cards on a stick, which is very strong.
It's so hard every time I play one of those type of cards.
But see,
I play No Game No Life all the time, and I use that Sora, and it's like I always think which is the better way to do it, but off the top of my head, I can't think of a situation where either would be better. You know?
I think it's
like a very in the moment thing.
It's extremely situational. Yeah,
it's realizing the ability of that card. Like it's realizing that has value and not just doing them as printed is important. Yeah, but yeah, we can resume here.
We here at Pittsburgh Weiss Schwarz love simultaneous auto effects.
Yeah, we love 8.7.
Gotta love it.
Okay, so you brainstorm, you whiff. There's a lot of Karukas in your waiting room.
Oh, there's so many Karukas in my waiting room.
Are you holding one in hand? Do you remember here?
I do believe so. I might ask you.
Because if I were Brian and I saw 2 Karukas hit your waiting room, and I asked to see your waiting room before grave, which I don't think before refresh, which I don't know if Brian did or not.
I don't think I did. I don't have a lot of experience playing against Revue, actually.
Here's the play. Billy, you top check with the. I saw it when you flipped it. You reveal wind off. You surveil wind here.
This is where I do it.
And you're choosing to leave it, which is objectively the correct play. I'm very proud of you for this play. This is like
can't wait till my third Jabril gets winded.
Yeah, this is like this is a very massive.
Hey, spoilers.
People who haven't been playing the game long would like the general knowledge being climax and stock bad. Would mill that 9 times out of 10, and the fact that you decided to keep it and you swing in the open lane here first, very strong. Oh, okay, so you win the front row for more damage. That's even better.
Yeah, I was just pushing for it,
and I think that was correct. So,
because swinging for 2 is like the best thing you can do. So you got yourself a 2.
Yeah, the only thing I was sad about there was because I buried another stock deep.
Oh, here, pause it.
There it is.
Okay,
there it is.
So,
I knew it happened.
So you
maybe I think that might have been like the wrong sequence there. You should have swung with the middle lane. So like if you triggered another wind, you could bounce that front row Sora and get like another 2.
Swing for 2 again, maybe. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
You see what I mean?
Maybe. At that point, do you cut your losses? That's the thing there. It's like, oh, I already have this great
stock, right?
Yeah, it's 2. Yeah.
That is true. And I guess you are running over the Sora, and he's not going to want to encore it.
Yeah, I think I looked at that from a resource perspective.
It's worth noting that with 4 stock, you're bouncing a card to hand, which is making the overhead for his Steph less. But I still think that's the right play.
I was already sitting at like 7 cards in hand, so I was fine for the Steph finisher anyway.
Yeah.
Bouncing the Jabril actually hurt more due to the fact that I was scrambling. I was already scrambling for damage with only one Foolish King in memory, and I really would have liked that 2 soul attacker on the board.
Yeah, that's pretty rough. All right, continuing. And you eat it too. Yikes.
So yeah, I'm in do or die mode now.
And he sides you?
Whoa, nice draw, dude.
He sides you there.
Drawing the standby.
Hey, Billy, why'd you side that?
My Karko?
Yeah, you sided the
Sora with the Karko, yeah.
No, I don't think so. I think we determined later that was actually dead.
Oh, yeah. I think we just forgot about it.
Yeah, I think we just left it there for a second.
Give it a sec, yeah. I do remember that.
You take the climax. Why?
It's the finisher, right? Isn't it the one you need for Steph?
No, I was holding the Steph climax. Wait, what? Did I took a climax?
Yeah.
Yeah,
no,
you ditched to.
I think I clocked. Did I clock into it? Where did I get that climax from?
You top check 3'd into it.
Oh, yeah, I think you did.
And now you're about to top check, take nothing.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're looking at the ruling here to make sure you can't do that. To make sure that you can do that.
It says look at up to 3, take up to 1.
And you
That's what it
refresh
says.
6, I think I saw there.
Yeah, refresh 6.
Okay, so yeah, you're definitely in do or die mode here.
Dude, that's like when they say the name of the movie in the movie. It just happened. Brian's like, it's do or die time, like in the chat, and then he said it in the video too.
I have the volume off here, so. Oh, so you're at 3-6.
Yeah, so I'm trying to mill to get extra souls on the Sora here,
And
just
you
so I
whiff
have.
all of it. And you pitch. Okay, so you didn't need it. You okay, so you whiff you whiff all these Soras. Oh my god. Okay, so you do hit one.
I did it.
I think
Speaking of doing the effects in the order where it matters most, Brian's doing all those effects in the reverse order, by the way. Doing the mill first and then top checking.
Yeah, you should top check first if you want to hit soul there. Because, yeah, come on, Brian.
But believe it or not, I was a little frazzled after
After getting your shit winded all game, I would
4
be
wins.
too. Okay, so you're gonna pitch 2 to burn 1. And I can tell that you're upset about the 1, and it gets canceled. No, no, Brian. Oh my god. Okay. All right, ditch 2. That one sticks.
The 1 sticks.
And you're just putting.
Oh, that's the worst when they eat the pings and cancel the big damage. Oh.
Okay, so 3. So
he's 3 now. Billy's 3.
I think Billy's gonna win this one. I got a feeling.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Okay, so
you know, Brian, if you weren't like so high in, if you weren't so high in your clock, like if you weren't at like 2-6 already, I think you could have like tried to delay your finisher a turn. Like maybe like play your foolish king and just side attack him a whole bunch just to get like a better turn.
So Billy does the Kawarka effect on the encore step, so it doesn't.
But you were like, you were in a pretty bad spot there.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, you correctly do the Kawarka effect. You change for 1. You have a second Kawarka play here is the question. And will we see it? Billy, you got another Kawarka in there?
I can't remember.
Okay, you're clocking for it. You're...
I think even if I do, I might not play it because I'm going for such soft damage. I think I might just play a 1 stock, do a climax, user effect, and go for it.
If I remember correctly, I'm not even sure you have the Kawarka climax here.
You know, that could be right too.
He did rip the Mahiru, so he could find it, but you are also at 3-6. He only needs to deal 1 damage.
Yeah.
So the question here is like, you have your deck fan there, Brian. Do you have any idea how many cards were in your deck at the end? Probably like
that looks like
12.
Yeah. Too many.
So the thinking on Billy's hint.
Yeah, I don't have best self.
The thinking on Billy's side is, do I want to just attack so hard that I push you to refresh and you definitely die? But so Billy here, you would do well, I think, which is again we talked about the most important question. Before you even drew up for that turn, I would have asked for Brian's grave. Just to take stock of the situation, because at the end of the day, I think you do have my best self in hand. Is that what that is?
Yeah, he had it.
It's hard to tell them between.
I think I'm out all 4.
It's the same scene, like mirrored to the left and right. Because like if you would have looked at his grave, I think Brian's through 6 right now. I would have like moved Mahiru in front of the thing and just swung.
Yeah, I have like 4 or 5 standbys in waiting room, and I triggered 1 last turn, so
and you have 2 cards in hand.
I'm out a lot right now. Yeah.
Okay, so you're going for the ping. You're playing Futaba.
Yeah, that was my 4th my best self that I just paid out.
Okay, so you draw up to 2. You guys are gonna have the up to 2 discussion while you refresh. I'm guessing, talking about that, how you can't draw a second card.
Yep.
Or I don't know. Connor will yell at us in the chat if that's not true.
You might. Well, I don't know.
We've never confirmed that. I mean,
if it's
sense.
if it's a look it up to, you don't get a
It's
do
not
more. But if it's
draw
up to, maybe you can declare it first. I think you can draw and then choose to draw the second one. Probably.
Yeah, we really
I don't
know there.
Maybe I've always played up twos. If you hit the end of deck, that's the end of your.
But I think if it's a draw, you can choose to draw another. Though.
Okay, so you do move up your
anyway.
Brainstormer, which is correct. You haven't taken refresh point here yet. Brian will probably correct you eventually. There you go.
And here comes the 1.
Okay, so you swing for 1. That is a Calruco in the center, and yeah, that's game.
And that's it. Yep.
All right, you guys are gonna. I'll let that run out here.
I think that game might have went a lot different if Brian would have got if he would have got the word chain off.
Yeah, I
think the word chain would be really good against the what is it? The
2-1, yeah.
The one that changes into the finisher.
Yeah,
the 2-1 Calruco.
Because if you can just name level 2 and get rid of them, you can just attack how you want.
Yeah, the word chain combo it wasn't really happening.
You don't realize how difficult it is for me to fucking have a conversation with you guys when Brian and Billy are talking in the background and in person. It's really confusing me.
So is there anywhere that you guys want to go back to in the set?
Let's look at the moment where I took the climax off the top check 3. I have no idea why I did that.
Okay, so do you remember timestamp wise?
It was closer to the end.
Yeah, it was 20 minutes ish, maybe.
20 minutes.
Yeah, this is it.
Oh, hey,
go back a teeny tiny bit.
I'm gonna go to just 19. I'm gonna go to 19 minutes, and we can watch here. Just so
it should be right after this, right?
Just so that I have a good thing here for it.
Yeah, it's right here after Billy attacks.
Okay, so.
And my Jabro gets winded.
Yeah, we get to watch Jabro get winded again. You eat the 2, and I think here you eat another 2. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're 3-5. And your Sora is actually dead. You need to remember that.
So I draw.
He draws a climax there.
Yeah.
The storm-looking one.
Mm-hmm, the Jabro level 1 combo.
Okay, so you have what, 3 standbys in hand now?
I'm holding a Steph climax and the one I just drew at the very least. There's probably a second one in there too.
Okay, so one.
So I play the Steph.
All right.
I look at 3 off the top.
And yeah, you're
I
took the Steph climax, right?
I didn't
I'm
have
gonna
the
pause there. So why did you take the Steph climax? Because you didn't have it?
Because I don't think I had one.
Okay.
Yeah, Brian didn't have any climaxes in hand at the start of that. He drew the 1 and then he picked the third one or the second one.
Okay.
Yeah,
and that's right because he refreshed 6, so he had one of each in his hand.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I was saying there would have been no way I would have just taken a climax if I already had the combo climax in hand.
All right. So yeah. So you refresh here. Okay. So and we want to look at the Sora, right? That's what we're looking at here. Where you're playing 3 Soras.
The order of effects on the Soras, yeah, we can talk about that.
Okay, so if you want to hit Soul, the idea is that you top check first.
You're right, yeah. That's definitely the way to do it.
So you play 1, you mill 2 first.
I do, yeah.
You do get filter off here.
Why were you, I don't know which way is the right way to do it. Why were you milling first, Brian? What was your thought process, I guess?
Because milling is what I really wanted to do at that point. So that's
that was the extent of it.
Yeah, not the smartest play, but primal instinct is my excuse.
Okay, so yeah, so if you want to hit Soul, you should top check first because.
But I do agree that was wrong. Yeah.
If you want,
why do you top check first?
Because if the top check hits a climax, you just mill it, with the
And
second effect.
and if it's not a climax, then you mill past
You're
it
one
and then
card
you mill
closer.
2 more.
Yeah. So it's.
But he had 2 Soras, so if you get a top check after, then you can
No, it's still always wrong.
do the next better.
It's still always
You do make the next one better, yeah. But and I did top check. I did top check into a third one, but
I think it's always the same because you only need 1 to hit because you have 2 steps. In this situation, it's literally always the same. You should always top check first.
I think top checking first is the correct play. Yes.
Yeah, if you want to hit the second effect on these these cards that mill 3 cards, you do the top check first. Otherwise, it's sort of a in the moment call. But Billy, is there anything you want to go back to?
To be honest with you, the thing that I think was most relevant for me in this match was the very beginning.
All right, so you want to scroll all the way back here?
Well, I don't think we're going to be able to get any insight on it because we can't see my hand, but like whether or not my mauling was correct. And then the Ricky play, I think we all agreed on. And at the time, because I had a dirty 2 stock, I didn't know if it was the right play or not.
We can look at it a little closer here at 10 seconds. So you're throwing away, putting down 2. You have a married life. Looks like the Futaba wind. So you're agonizing over throwing away the married life, which I think is right, especially because you're against standby. So I'll pause it here at 33. So you end up throwing away Mahiru, 1-0 early play, and married life. I think married life was the only thing there you definitely don't absolutely throw away because you said there was a wind and a Futaba 1-0 and a Futaba like 0, the 4K in your hand. And
wait, you think he should keep the married life?
Well, I think that's the only thing that you have to think about.
Question.
And that was the one thing.
I think the married life is the first thing I would throw away out of my hand. I would never keep that in an opener.
Well, the reason I was thinking about keeping it was my only 0.
Yeah, it is a 0 that you can attack with. It's something to consider.
Oh wait, it was your only 0 and you threw it away.
I didn't have another 0.
Yeah,
I would be greedy and throw it away. I'd be greedy and throw the whole hand away and try to get like a 0 that sticks on board.
I think I would have kept the married life.
Yeah, I would have also kept the married life.
If it were my only 0.
If it was my only 0, I would have kept it. And you said you had wind. Your other 2 cards were wind and 1-0 Futaba, and you threw away.
No, it wasn't 1-0 Futaba. I don't know what the last card was.
Yeah, he didn't have 1-0 Futaba. He Rickied and brainstormed into the other 2 on his combo turn.
Okay, and then you ripped. You're saying you ripped into the 0 4K 2 soul.
Yeah, I definitely ripped into at least one of them. Maybe there's a small chance I had one, and if so, then it's a no-brainer to get rid of married life, in my opinion. But I don't think that was the case because I thought.
I think against standby in general, because your deck is so, kind of whatever.
Well, hold on. On the mulligan, he wouldn't know what he's playing against, and I don't think he did know what he was playing against.
I guess that's fair.
I know like 6 cards.
That's kind of It's really hard to evaluate Weiss in hindsight because Weiss is sort of that hindsight 2020 game. Any TCG is, but like Weiss more so. Like, we've all had those games. Like, oh, what if I sided? I triggered a soul. Like,
what if I sided?
Yeah, what if I sided? We won't bring that up, Brian.
Yeah,
trigger Brian's PTSD. But yeah, I don't think that was a bad mull at all. I think mulling your only 0 is very suspect. From a safeness, but you ripped into it, so it was fine. But
I think if you're going first, you can be super greedy because if you even if you don't hit a 0, you're just missing 1 attack, and that's not terrible.
Revue runs what 17, 18 zeros?
18.
18. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, if you're running 18, I mean let's just watch it here. You're going second here.
Yeah.
So going second, I think that was really greedy to ditch your only 0 there, going second, because you're incentivized to play more than 1 0.
Because he does end up he front rows the brainstorm here.
Which isn't a terrible play.
No, it's fine. I mean,
because he sees you're in red, maybe you run the Steph bomb because he plays the Futaba first, then he plays the brainstorm. If I remember correctly here.
Yeah, the brainstorm ties in power with my runner too, so it forces me to run to the open lane.
So he gets a lane of 3 and a lane of 2 before trigger.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
So yeah, like after he puts down the Karuka here, I'll pause it so we can talk about it. But
I mean, which I eat all of that damage, by the way.
yeah,
Yeah,
and he is holding the wind at this point. So, yeah, I do think this is a strong play because you notice your opponent's in red. No game, no life. I mean, you wouldn't know this because you're newer. You haven't played against it a lot. But no game, no life does like run that bomb, right? So the
they don't run a red 0 bomb.
Well,
That's
they can. It exists in the set.
Or wait, is the Gibral that ditches a climax is a bomb, right?
No. It's on play mill 2. If you hit a climax, choose a card in your opponent's waiting room, put it on their top of their deck.
Yeah, like the red doesn't run the bomb, and no game, no life. It's 0.
Well, okay,
yeah.
If you had
it's just not good enough.
If you had other zeros to play, and you were like, oh, I need to swing in this open lane, and this card makes my Futaba like invincible to a red bomb, and I see my opponent running red.
I mean, it's the optimal sequence no matter what. You know what I mean? There's no reason why you wouldn't do it.
Mm-hmm.
Totally forgot about my Karuka's effect. I was literally just doing this for the sake of pushing more stock while I could, and the fact that she was tied with.
Yeah, she had to run the open lane to live the plus.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I do think that was right. It was really greedy to ditch that as your only 0, though. That's a greedy play going second. Going first, I agree with Andy. I think it's fine because you have all that draw to get into one.
How much power does the Married Life sit at?
1,000.
1,000?
Yeah.
That's not terrible against No Game, No Life. Most of my zeros are these runners, which are 1,000 power, and the Sora top check mill get soul, which I think is also
1,000 power.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Shiro Brainstormer's 15, I think. 1,000 or 15. I think it might be 1,000. I'm not sure.
Yeah, so No Game, No Life has a pretty low power level 0.
They're more about tricky utility stuff at 0. But yeah, is there anything else we want to touch on?
I got nothing.
Yeah, I think we covered it.
All right, I'll scrub to the end here. Play while I talk. So yeah, this was our first match commentary. We do have a couple other games recorded that we want to talk about. A big part of this, in us wanting to do it, was sort of highlight our players that you haven't seen on the channel, Billy being one of them. And a lot of the games that we have recorded are with players that aren't typically on the channel. So coordinating with their schedules is like always a bit of a pain. Getting everybody, in the same Discord to talk is never easy, but we're going to try our best to get that stuff out, as well as our Goblin Slayer pre-review, which we're probably going to start like recording on very soon.
Ooh, I'm pumped for that. I'm pumped for that.
Yeah, that's gonna be a fun one. Lots of good cards, lots of things to talk about.
A lot of S's and A's. Can't wait.
Yeah, lots of things to talk about with that set. But that's the general idea of what we want to do getting started with this match commentary. We want to do something different, something that a lot of other channels aren't doing. We want to like sort of highlight the sort of weirder games, the sort of newer games, not like the best play that you've seen all the time. We kind of want to show more of your average local games, because I think there's a lot to talk about and there's a lot that's undervalued in these kind of games.
Yeah, I think it's more fun to actually discuss the flaws in suboptimal play than it is to just watch a perfect game.
Yeah.
I think that makes you a better player too whenever you discuss those things, because it sticks with you more afterwards.
Yeah, for sure. So, yeah, I think that's it. Anybody have any closing thoughts? Anything else?
Maybe someday I'll win a game on camera.
Yeah, Brian is cursed on the camera. You're gonna notice that.
Yeah, thanks for the first camera one, Brian. We take those.
All right, guys. Thank you, Billy, for tuning in. Thank you, Brian and Andy, as always. And Pittsburgh Weiss Schwarz signing off. See you guys in the next one.